Jaana Na Say Dora update on Thursday 3 December episode 3-4 on Adom TV. The episode starts with Guddy talking to her friend. She is returning from school and applies makeup. She loosens her hair. She goes to a stall. The boys see Guddy and pass comments. Guddy asks them not to trouble her and pushes the man. She leaves from there. The goons follow her. Adom comes there and hits the goon with his bike. Guddy smiles seeing him. Adom stares at the goons. He takes Guddy's cycle chain and ties on his hand. The goons get scared and run away. Guddy asks, would you punch their mouth? That won't be needed now. More goons comes and argue with Adom. He says it's independent world, girls can wear anything they want, it does not mean anyone tease them. The goons attack him. Adom beats the goons and says don't touch my bike. He saves his bike and beats them. Guddy wishes she was his bike and gets impressed seeing him fighting. Vivia comes that way. Guddy sees her and hides. The goons run away. Vivia stops and apologizes to Adom. She says I will not forgive. She says when Sujata knows you are beating men here, she will feel bad. Guddy thinks to run away. Adom says Sujata won't feel bad, she knows I do right. Not like you who don't think right or wrong, you just follow your dad. She says my papa is never wrong, don't tell anything about it. Kailash goes to his office and tells manager that they will go to Havli with builder. Manager says let us get Havli first. Kailash says I am giving big price, Sujata got Havli in charity, she made it a stable. Manager says I spoke to her, she did not agree, she is rude. Adom says you tell a lot about your dad, what will anyone say about him? He leaves. She says I wanted to apologize, he told me so much, Kadus. Kailash goes to meet Sujata. She asks him to sit. She goes to get water. He looks at the Havli. He says you are staying alone and raised son, you have kept your house mortgaged to me. She says I am paying interest. He says you have to return principal. She says I will give it soon. Adom completed studies and came back. He asks where did he get job. She says he did not get job, he works on his laptop, he will become a big man in 2 years. He asks does he dream. She says he knows to fulfill dreams. He says I will talk to him. She says no, he does not know about loan. He says fine, I will pray your son becomes something and returns the loan. He puts water on the laptop intentionally. She wipes the laptop. He says it's good water did not fall much on it, else your son's dream. He leaves. Manager asks did she agree. Kailash says she said her son will repay loan. Manager says what will the guy repay. Kailash says even I did not have anything when I started, guy does not know his mother took loan, find out what does her son want to do, he wants to become big man in 2 years. On what basis? I worked hard for 30 years to become rich, find out. Dottie boils water and argues with Guddy. Vivia and Mummy look on. Dottie says Guddy made green tea and left gas open, I would have died today, I praise Vivia and Guddy gets jealous. Guddy scolds Dottie and asks did you see me doing this? Kailash comes and shouts Guddy. Sujata talks to some worker and tells what Kailash said. He asks her to tell everything to Adom. Sujata says no, I can't tell him. The man says Adom should take care of Sujata's worries. Adom asks what happened. The man says she is finding a proposal for you, she wants to get you married, tell me what type of girl do you want, I will get a naughty and arrogant girl for you. Adom cleans Sujata's hand and shows loan application. He says business will be on our name, sign here. She asks 40 lakhs loan. He says yes, we will keep this house mortgaged. She gets shocked. She signs on the form. He says now we became business partner, and shakes hands with her. He goes. She worries and thinks how to tell Adom that this house is mortgaged to Kailash already. Kailash gets angry on Guddy. Guddy says sorry to them and goes. Sujata gets thinking about Kailash's words and Adom's dreams. She washes hands and is tensed. Adom comes and wipes her hands. He says he will fulfill his dreams. She says I am fine with my cows and dairy business. She goes. Kailash tells his wife that Guddy was misbehaving with me. You were standing silent. Vivek did not do such thing till now. Whatever happened is because you have spoiled Guddy and Ankit too. Vivek thinks of others, and these two are useless. Guddy tells Vivek that I have to hear this because of you. Why are you perfect? You pretend to become good, so that my image gets bad. Vivek says no, you are wrong. Guddy says one day everyone will praise me and say bad about you. Dottie hears Kailash telling Yuma about managing children. Yuma says I will be careful. Guddy is immature. Kailash says it can get late too. He holds Yuma's hand and warns her to change Guddy and Ankit. If anyone misbehaves with my man this hand, I will not leave anyone. Dottie has raised Vivek. Vivek is my prestige. The episode starts with Kailash talking to Dubby. He says I did not see Sujata so confident before, she has got her support now. He calls Ankit. He asks her to tell Sujata that they will support her in her dreams. He coughs and Vivek gives him water. He asks Ankit to become like Vivek. He asks Ankit to give the papers. Dubby says I will give papers. Kailash says Ankit is 17 years old, can't he do this small work? He leaves. Ankit argues with Vivek angrily. He keeps papers there and leaves. She says Papa said it's imp papers, I will give it, else Ankit will get scolded. Vivek goes to meet Sujata. She prays in her house temple and tells Sujata that she has come to meet her. Sujata asks did she come for some work? She is Kailash's daughter and this is dairy farm. Vivek says so what, dairy farm work is not embarrassing, can't I come without any work, Papa gave this letter, check it. She goes to play with Kaf. Sujata smiles reading the papers. She shows the papers to Atharv. She says he is a big man. Atharv says we can't agree to him. She asks why, he said he will take milk for his catering business from us. He says yes, if anything wrong happens, then contract will get risky. He explains that they will lose other work if they do contract. Sujata agrees and says I will refuse to him. Atharv says I will refuse. She says it won't look good, I will go. Atharv sees Vivek and asks did she come again. She asks what problem do you have, let her play with Kaf. He goes to Vivek and asks are you telling your dad stories to her, if Kaf does not get sleep at night then. She asks what do you mean. Sujata comes to meet Kailash and greets Dottie and Yuma. Kailash checks the papers and says it's good you signed. He gets shocked seeing no sign. Sujata says we can't agree to this contract, sorry, my son thinks it won't be right to sell all milk to one customer. He asks are you refusing this good deal as your son thinks so, you raised him, he did not raise you, will you let him decide for you? She asks why not, I was waiting for this day, he will get educated, that he will take decisions for himself and me, he is more educated than me, I can trust his decision, he has grown up. Kailash says children can grow up, but not more than parents, the day children take decisions, they fall. Vivek steps in cow dung and slips. Atharv holds her. Music plays. They both fall down. He says when children do mistake, our work is to manage them, you are giving him chance to do mistake. Atharv asks Vivek to walk carefully. He gets up and gives his hand to help her. She hits his hand and gets up on her own. They start arguing. She gets the anklet which she made Kaf wear and asks him where is it. He asks her to find it, he has no time. She says I want it, it was worth 2500 Rs. He asks what. She says yes, it was birthday gift of the Kaf, find it and keep, it was close to my heart. She makes a sad face and leaves smiling with the anklet. He thinks if he does not get anklet, how will he get 2500 Rs anklet? Kailash says Vivek does work by asking me, we should love children, but not let them get out of hands, else they get black stains on them and come home. Vivek comes home with cow dung and dirty mud stains on her. He gets shocked. She says I went to stable. He asks why. She says you asked to give papers. He says I told Ankit. She says I thought I will. He asks her to go inside. Ankit comes there. Kailash slaps him. Ankit falls down and cries. Sujata says leave it, he is young. Kailash says I know to manage my son, don't teach me. Sujata leaves. Dadi pacifies Kailash. Kailash goes to Ankit and scolds him. Ankit apologizes. Kailash asks Vivir to let Ankit do anything. Vivir says I make him do much work. Kailash asks her to change clothes, and goes. Guddy comes there and teases Ankit for getting slapped from Kailash. Dadi scolds Guddy and goes. Kailash tells Dubby that Sujata refused to me, I always supported her, and she has refused to my deal, how could she do this? She says Sujata said her son is much educated, he will see how our world runs. He says if that son learns about mum's loan, he will get ready to sell the Havli, women love old things, and men work by mind, that man will also work by mind. He asks him to send this letter by register post. He says it's time that guy knows everything. Ankit argues with Vivir and goes. Guddy asks Vivir what happened in stable, I know you go there to meet that hot guy. Vivir says he is not hot. Guddy says he is very hot, your taste is bad, he is Greek god. Vivir says I have made him bite dust. Guddy asks really, tell me what happened. Vivir says promise me, you won't tell anyone, I made Kaf wear 25 Rs anklet, that anklet got lost, I got it and told Atharv that it was worth 2500 Rs, now he will find it all night, I said that anklet was close to my heart. Atharv looks for anklet everywhere. Vivir shows, the anklet. Atharv thinks this girl is mad, does anyone make Kaf wear 2500 Rs anklet? Precap, Vivir sees Atharv diving in the water. She asks what is this man doing? The man says Atharv is finding an anklet. Vivir gets shocked. Thanks for watching and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates.